in accounting. I did some basic accounting.
Yes.
Profit is equal to sales minus cost of goods sold or cost of sales.
Yes.
So that will be there. You must spend to earn, you must spend to make money. For me, what I think in terms of cost-benefit analysis. For me, as long as it has a positive CBA result, spend as much as long as there is proportionate return. In my opinion, there's no problem with the president calling for a face-to-face meeting with the CEOs, because as a government, you realize every government has an agenda.
Yes.
And for this agenda to be implemented, it must align its structures, resources to that agenda. If the core resource is the human resource, the people who facilitate the implementation of this agenda is not the president. The president just bears and carries the vision, but we are the people who implement. So you realize that it's the ministries, departments and agencies. So it's good for them to have that conversation, that candid conversation, where as a country we have to align the resources within the agencies to the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. You realize maybe there might be some agencies that might have been relevant in a previous agenda, but may not be. So my opinion is, if it's not, the reason why you're making losses is possibly because you are not aligned to the agenda.
Yes.
So you are spending your money in the wrong places.
Yes.
So because you are spending the money in the wrong places, you realize that there's no proportionate return, either socially or economically. And that's where, as a person, there's no problem with that. But at the same time, I will say that I applaud the president in whatever he proposed, because I always ask myself, what is the role of NAMATA? NAMATA, there's an agency called Nairobi.
Yes.
NAMATA, they are building something around Kasarani there.
Yes.
Machakos, Kajiado. So sometimes there's duplication of roles that leads to wastage of resources. Because of that duplication, you realize that there are agencies that can come together and it becomes easier. Because sometimes the reason with having some of these, with the duplication of roles or overlapping roles, you realize that we want to implement a project, but everyone is claiming it's there. Today we have the issue of the doctors. The doctors are shouting at the health CS, but the doctors, with all their 7 years in school, do not know that health is devolved. So their employer is the county government. So the people expect to be shouting at the CSR, the doctors in KNH and Moi teaching referral. So you are shouting at the wrong person. So you realize that we've misplaced our energies and priorities, and that's why you realize we waste a lot of resources. So for me, the core of the president is to communicate the agenda. At the end of the, as government priorities, an agenda shifts priorities. So those priorities must be communicated so that as these agencies are doing their budgets and all, they're able to align, to align that. So at the end of the day, for me, like I said, it's about the value that you get in your investment. So austerity is very important, especially in a country where we are trying to manage our debt so that we become self-reliant and locally capable of taking care of our issues. That requires some very serious balancing so that we are able to align our aspirations and expenditures to the dream that we want as a country.
Pretty much. I'll be coming to you on that. Somebody did some quick math on that. For you to call 290 people to State House, and if you put an average of 10,000 shillings for fuel, at the get-go, you're already losing 3 million. The 3 million that you want to save. That it would have made sense for you to only call the profit-making entities and tell them this is the plan that we have for you, because you know very well that even by them being there, they're not also driving you into losses. I'll be coming to you on that.
Simba, if I may just jump in.
Yes.
We have been accused of applying the Bible and its teachings. The Bible is a very relevant book to our beings because it drives our common sense. Is it a parable of the 5 talents? A poor man's mentality focuses on keeping what they have. A progressive mind will not hesitate to invest their talent. It's in the Bible.
Yes.
They are ready to incur that cost so that they can multiply what they have.
So,
that's why the government has expenditure.
Yeah.
The parastatals, whatever they are spending is already, for them to do that job, there must be a provision to facilitate their movement. Yeah. So let's not think like the poor person in the Bible who buried their one talent.
But if you want to talk about austerity, that we're here to talk about how much money we're losing from these parastatals, you do not want for that meeting again to force you to lose more.
I talked about the cost-benefit analysis. Simba, this is very unpopular and Kenyans might not like this, but the government exists for two roles, to collect money and spend it. They collect your money and then they spend it in a manner that gives you an opportunity to make more so that we can collect more next year. In the process, it costs to collect the money, it costs to spend.
Yes.
Along this journey, the reason why we are spending is so that we are able to create enabling environment and all the facilities that will enable the country to function.
Yes.
Austerity is good, but you cannot kill yourself because you don't want to spend on food.
Yes.
You will be a fool.